Motherhood, a journey like no other, filled with joy, challenges, and unforgettable moments.
In this episode, we're going to share stories, insights, and real conversations about the joys and struggles of being a mom.
We have very similar way of raising our boys, yet again, our setup is a bit different, I should say. I'm married and I have two boys. We all live together.
Mm-hmm.
And you?
I'm a divorced mom of two boys, and they don't live with me.
So many people come and ask me, why is she not living with her kids? What happened? How come? A lot of question marks. What was the breaking point, and what's the reason behind of all of this?
I mean, obviously, it's just not one reason. There's many factors to a divorce, and many things that led for me to take this decision. This is not an easy topic for me
I
to
know.
dive into. Okay.
It's okay. Sorry. It's okay. Does it bring you back to a certain moment or a certain phase?
See, I promised I wasn't going to cry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
What?
It takes me back to a certain moment where an incident happened, and I found myself, it's a natural instinct for boys to want to defend their mom, regardless if they know what's happening in that certain moment or certain situation. So when that incident happened, I broke down in tears, held them both, and that was the moment I decided that, so many people tell you should stay for your kids, but nobody tells you should leave for your kids.
How old were they?
5 and 7. So I left the house and they were 5 and 7. And that was a really, really tough period in my life. But I stood there and I had to make a decision that was best for them and best for me. I could no longer continue living the way that I was living for many reasons. But I had to ultimately take a decision that would be better for them in the long run. And I know people look on the outside and, they judge you for the choices you have made in your life without knowing the options you had to choose from. So we always get judged for the choices, and nobody really knows your story. Nobody really knows why you did what you had to do in order to save yourself, in order to save and protect your children from something that was much bigger than me. And ultimately, I think I put my image and reputation and all of that on the line by doing something that would secure and save my kids' future and their upbringing. So at the time, I wasn't able to financially support my kids. I left with nothing, had to start my life from zero. Because I wasn't working at the time, I had no means of taking care of myself, let alone two kids. So I thought to myself, the best thing possible for them, not for me, was to have them live with their father, because I knew their lifestyle and their education and their healthcare and everything would be taken care of, no matter how tough it was on me.
But from the outside, you see this is very common. Like when a woman would take that decision, oh, how selfish. But actually, it's very selfless. Because what you did, oh, come on. I'm not gonna. No, but it's a big decision. I don't know what you felt at the time.
Yeah.
It's not easy. There were I know.
Sorry.
Oh. Okay, no, I think you're so strong. Would you have acted differently if they were girls, or if you had a girl?
I think the whole situation would have been different if we had a girl. But having them be boys, I know for a fact that boys need their father, and they need a father figure and role model growing up.
Yeah,
If it was a girl, it would have been
a different.
quite a different scenario. But I know that that's what's best for them. Although on the outside, as you said, women, and I know so many women that have messaged me over the years that have gone through similar situations, and I would leave everything I'm doing at the moment and just message them back. Even like these are women that I don't know, but I would be there for them, because when I went through it, I had no one to look up to, or no one to compare my life to, or I had no one that had been in the same situation. And ultimately, I was not looked down upon, but I was always questioned, because in this region, unfortunately, when you are a woman and you don't live with your kids and you have made the choice to leave something that was not for you anymore, you're immediately labeled as a bad mom, a bad person.
Unfortunately, yes.
Which is not the case.
No, of course not.
And I would love to be here and be like, oh, it doesn't bother me. No, it actually traumatized me.
Of course, of course. Would you have done anything differently?
To be honest, I wish we were both more mature in handling the divorce than the way we did. It was very public. It was very, push and pull and all of that. And I wish that's just something I wish we handled differently. However, now we're great friends. We're great co-parents.
Yeah.
We have the maturity of coming together as a family for the boys. We spend Christmases together. We sometimes
That's great.
Meet at trips together for them, and they love that. Because we always want to remind them that even if we had our differences, we will never stop being a family.
That's excellent. That's excellent. And I think that's one of the big topic in this region. People stay in an abusive marriage, or they're simply not happy. It could be from both sides.
True.
Just for the kids. But kids, they can feel it
100%.
anyways.
100%.
So, I mean, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. And I'm glad nobody see this part, but you have a very good relationship with your kids. And I think because of this, right?
True.
Am I...
True. I mean, the way I am with them is like I'm really close and open and honest about everything in my life. And I want them to always feel they can come and tell me anything. I mean, if they're in trouble or in a new relationship, like I am the person they run to tell. And I treat them like my best friends. I tell them about my personal life.
Yeah.
I mean, like from the simplest thing, like, oh, I have a date tonight.
Yeah,
good luck, Mom. How is he? What does he look like? And I really like, I mean, I know this is not the normal way of raising kids or being a mom, but I'm not a traditional mom.
No, you're not. You're not.
So I enjoyed that aspect of our relationship, and I've asked them many times. They wouldn't have it any other way.
When you left, did they understand?
No, I don't think any child understands.
Did they feel some kind of like, mommy left? Or did you hear this?
I know it's what they felt and heard at the time. But growing up, they know.
They know. Yeah.
No, and I've told them, like, I'm here to answer any of your questions about the past or about anything. Like, I'm
But you're
here
also
to be
very
open.
protective.
I am.
You're also protective over that part. I mean, you're not the person that wants to talk bad about the other partner, or I mean, there is no right or wrong. I mean, it was simply not good at the time.
I
But
have never, and don't think I will ever, disclose so many things for them.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh dear God.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry.
And how old are they now?
Well, now they're taller than me.
No.
They're 14 and 16. And to be honest, I'm very proud of the gentlemen they have turned out to be. I couldn't be a prouder mom. And I have to give him credit as well, because he is a great father. And he has directed them into sports and
some discipline.
Some discipline for sure. And we co-parent in a really nice way.
Okay. I'm glad. I mean, there is a good outcome. Oh, I'm glad. But it's still, I feel like it's a burden on you every single time. I don't know how many times we have spoken about this, and every time.
I don't think I can get through this topic like every time without crying.
Sometimes during that phase why I asked you, because there are some pictures during that time and you can't see them. Can you tell me why?
I'm gonna try.
The exact feeling.
I think it's good I wore waterproof mascara.
Please share it later on in your tips and tricks. No.
Sorry. Yeah, there's, I mean, the other day my son sent me a picture of him like younger, and it was during that phase I broke down. But why? Oh God. I think I just remember, like, the flashbacks come back. It was tough. And I don't think it was, like, obviously it was not easy on me. And it was not easy on them for sure. And it was not easy on him too, I have to say. Like, I mean, divorce is not easy on anyone that goes through it.
And for the whole family also.
But I just wish it was better on the kids.
Do you think it?
I think on some level it did affect back then. Now we're all good. But yeah, it's tough for me to see pictures of that phase.
And now in, let's say, more modern time, do you think that therapy wasn't important, or
100%.
some like external part to come in and help? Because you know how it is, sometimes each one takes a side, each one wants to defend their own child, so it becomes not the right reason. I mean, you might be in the wrong also.
Of course,
I mean, it's
nobody's perfect.
But do you think that would have helped?
I think therapy is always a good idea in general, and I think everyone should, at least have a therapist that they talk to and stuff. Back then, I think it was more of a taboo that people are not really open to going to therapy. But it's definitely something that I have suggested many times, and I did go, and I'm glad I did. It helped me heal so many, scars that were there. Still tough though, but
yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't think it'll ever be easy, but I mean, this is the part that people don't see.
Of course. I mean, it's not like you're supposed to go out there and just tell your story
No,
every
for
5 minutes,
sure. But the reason why I am here being open about it is I know so many women would, relate to this
of course,
and
of course.
have been through it or are going through it. And honestly, they don't have anyone to talk to about it because in this region, it's not very common and it's not spoken about so openly. And just want to say you're not alone.
No. Yeah, because the mother is the protector. I mean, she's the one that's supposed to keep the family together. So that's why the first thing a woman gets is judged on that particular.
Exactly. I mean, it's normal. We've gotten used to, centuries of the father leaving, but seeing the mother leave or, not live with the kids is something, I mean, you get asked about this all the time.
I do. Like, that's my, why is she not living with the kids? Did she leave them? How could she leave them?
Yeah.
Like, it's not my place to, like, but no, I mean, the outcome could have been way worse if you stayed.
100%.
I mean, and no child wants to see any unhappy parent. And I think this is what we miss out, because the dynamic in the family is family household. It's very important.
I've read somewhere that kids don't want a perfect mom; they want a happy mom.
No, of course.
And when I sit and have my deep conversations with them, and they express how proud they are of me.
Aww.
And like sometimes it shocks me. I'm like, but why?
Aww.
And on numerous occasions, they've both told me, like, you picked up, you left, you started from scratch, literally from zero. And look at where you are now.
Yeah.
And it kind of like took me away. I was crying for a whole day. Just hearing that sentence. But
cried.
No, but like it blew me away that because in my eyes, I'm still struggling to find myself, to make something of myself, to become someone they can be one day proud of. And they look at me like, that's already done. We're proud of you already.
Did you ever feel like a moment that they had that resentment towards you?
I think in the beginning.
Really?
Because unfortunately, there was a lot of noise. And as children, as young as 5 and 7, it's difficult to understand what's right, what isn't.
My mommy's not here.
They just see the end result. My mom's gone. Without understanding that, she didn't leave you.
Oh, that is so tough. Yeah, that is tough. And then when you saw them, how were you?
I was like this.
Oh.
Every time.
Oh. Every time. Little you.
But also I stayed in Beirut for quite a while, like I think 5-6 years, like next to them, just so I could be next to them.
Yeah.
I wasn't really working in Beirut at the time. There weren't any opportunities.
Okay.
And it was around about where the crisis is happening. And there was, I was struggling quite for some time. And then I got an opportunity, a work opportunity in Dubai. And I thought, I have to pursue this. I could either stay struggling in Lebanon or I'd have to make this tough move where I could actually make something of myself. And to be honest, that's what they're proud of.
Of course.
And every time they come to visit, it's just, you could just see the pride beaming in their eyes.
Of course.
To be honest, that's priceless.
Of course.
Are you done making me cry, or can we move on to you?
You cry all the time. No, I know this is a very, it's not an easy
I mean,
topic.
I've been asked what's your story for years, and I've never really been comfortable to come and talk about it. But I do know that this topic is a sensitive one, and so many people will benefit from, you know, me sharing it, just for the fact, you know, that they're not alone.
No. Good for you, Coquina. Good for you.
I mean, she's the only one that gets the tears all the time.
Yes.
So
No, there have been a lot of tears. I think it bothers me also a lot, of course, because it's the same as my kids right now. It's that age.
yeah,
So it's very difficult to see that image, because I would like put myself. You can't put yourself in any of
No.
those. I would think like, how can I? Like, I mean, you know, when they're asleep,
you can't imagine it.
when they're asleep and you go inside and you just kiss them and you'll be like, oh my God bless you, don't ever take that away. So yeah, I do.
I know. This was supposed to be a happy episode.
Yeah, no, it is happy. No, but I'm proud of you. I am. And look at them. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay, happy thoughts now. No, happy thoughts.
Thank you. I mean, moving on. I mean, I know we both have different situations as mothers, but it also hasn't been easy for you as a mom, as a working mom. I don't think there was a time in your life where you haven't been working.
Yes.
Not many people like realize that, but
no, and you're also judged for that.
100%.
So like, there's whatever
like, it
you
must
do.
have been tough for you.
Yeah,
going back to work. How old were they?
40 days.
40 days.
Yes, and you know, feeling the guilt is incredibly common, because we put that pressure on ourselves of being a perfect mom. But the truth is, there is no such thing as a perfect mom. I mean, it's for me, it was just asking myself the question of, you know, what's the right decision for my family and for the well-being of my kids? I mean, for me in specific, is when I am okay and I feel good, this is when I can be the best.
You can give.
I can
to
give.
Your family.
I can, because what's the point of a crying mom 24/7, or an angry mom, or like, it's the quality time also with
100%.
them. So I did not feel the guilt going back, but you know, the social expectations, and you have this deep love for your kids. So I got a lot. Like 40 days, they were babies, and you know, how could you, like, from very close ones as well. It wasn't just.
So you felt like your closest were
I felt judged, but I didn't feel the guilt.
Okay.
I didn't feel that they're babies.
Okay.
I mean, you're supposed to provide for a child love and care, and it's their well-being.
And you did that.
I did that. I mean, what's the point of working? I mean, the point is, one, my life is not on hold. So I'm supposed to be that proud mom. Number two, I'm giving you a better life. So I'm able to provide you for a better life. So, and it's about the quality time. So no, but you know how it is. The social expectations are way out of this. Like, it's here.
Yeah.
And I don't believe in something called perfect mom.
That's the thing. Like, becoming a mother, you don't get handed a manual at the hospital. Like, this is your 1, 2, 3 of do's and don'ts. Like, I think every mother on the planet is just trying to do her best day in, day out.
And the only thing you know how to do is to compare with your own mother.
True.
So, and sometimes you go the other direction, because you feel like, no, I saw the struggle. Like, I mean, my mother is my idol, because growing up in Sweden, it's not easy. There is no help. It's not how we are today. And having 2 kids, and my mother is a perfectionist. So it was very important for us to be a certain way, clean, fed. And she worked and she took care of the house and she took care of my father, because wife is also something that is extremely big. So it was a lot. It took a toll on her health, because it was not about the cuddles or like, come here, let's read a book, because she had 100 things to do. So, but she provided everything. So those expectations, I don't want them. I don't want to have, okay, my house, I want to be perfect, but no, it's also my time with them. It is okay. I keep on telling myself, it's okay.
It's okay to let go
It's
of a few things here and there.
The most important is them.
I think we share the same, upbringing. We've discussed this before, but I mean, same as my mother and yours. Like, they were super strict.
Very, very. Every time I emphasize on the very.
Super strict, and that also had an effect on us, the way we are, the way we were brought up, the way we are today.
Yes.
Like, we rebelled at the age of 30.
That's not a good
something.
No, but I mean, every child needs a parent, and parenting is important. But a friendship is also, this is what we have in common, because we raise our boys being our friends as well.
True.
There are no consequences. If you did something wrong, we'll solve it together. You will have to come up with your own solution. But not like, why did you do this? Or
thing is, my mom was both.
Okay.
She was both Hitler and my best friend, in one.
Yeah.
So
true.
It would be like I was only allowed out once a week, and it was very like, she was very controlling and disciplined. However, on the other hand, she would take me to a club and be like, yes, you want to dance on the table?
Because it's with her.
Go ahead, dance on the table, but as long as I'm with you.
Yes. Because
you want to do modeling? Go ahead, but as long as I'm with you.
Yes.
So we had a very interesting dynamic, but like, she was my best friend, and I would tell her, oh my God, I met this guy, or like this so-and-so, took my number. I was that open with her, but at the same time, she was, you got to do this and that and the other. And I respect her a lot, because she also moved to London, worked 2 jobs, and she left the war in Lebanon at the time, worked 2 jobs just to be able to and she put me in nursery at a very young age.
Yeah.
I was 1 when I moved to London. So, and my father was working 2 jobs. So it was very tough.
Of course.
Growing up in Europe as, an Arab woman with no help, no family to help you either. I mean, looking back, I don't know how they did it.
I really don't.
Because we are spoiled compared to what they went through.
Definitely. I think here we are more on the, the mental well-being, but the physical part, no.
True.
And my mother made sure to look good as well, which we both know it's a lot. It's a lot to be. And again, we are in a part like, okay, I'll go do my hair, I'll fix my nails. That's not very common in Europe. You need to do it at home, do your nail polish. But she made sure to look good, not to let go of herself. She was always on point, very trendy, very feminine.
Yeah.
That is not easy.
Not at all.
That is not easy. With all the help that I have, it's like, I have to do my hair again. I nag for the silliest thing. She's like, oh.
I mean, we get supermarket online right now.
No, exactly. They have to go to the grocery with kids in the stroller, and it's cold. It's cold. It's overalls for kids, and it's different. It's different.
I have to ask though, do you get scared when you see parts of your mother in yourself?
Yes.
What scares you?
But I always tell her, I wish I could be like few percentage of what you are. Because for me, the bar is very high. But in the same time, with myself, I wish no, because she got sick. You know, it took a really big thing. Even your mother,
My
took
mother
a big,
too.
big on their
All
health.
this stress and worry and hard work. I mean,
and it's a stress that eats you from the inside.
True.
Because they don't express. It's this because they were strong women.
Very strong.
Like, we need to do this. We can't complain. It's cold. We put on warmer. You know, there was always a solution.
True.
And it's a lot.
To be honest, till this day, like, she probably treats me like I'm still 15. But I would not, and I say this with all honesty, like, I would not have survived half the things I went through in life if it wasn't for my mom.
Definitely.
She has always been my backbone, my biggest fan, my biggest supporter, and also my biggest critic. Like, when I am making mistakes, I'm like,
the same.
this is wrong, and
the same.
So I really have a newfound appreciation for our mothers after we became mothers.
Yes, and with maturity,
for sure.
The older my boys get, the more I can feel it. I can sense it. At the time, I would be like, oh, why is she always like, why is she nagging, or why is she telling me to do this or that? I understand.
How would you describe your relationship with your boys, and what are you trying to raise them into?
Okay, for me, I mean, I don't know how to say this, but I know they are my boys, but I also train myself to be like, they don't belong to me. So, I mean, I'm not selfish. I mean, you know how much I love them more than anything in this world. Like, it's them and nothing else. But I have come to a conclusion that it's about them, and for them to become independent with anything they do from a very young age. They have to learn to solve their own problems, to realize that they can be anywhere, wherever they are, and not be confused, or like, like problem solving. So the small independent boys, and that is what I want. I don't want them to be lost one day. I want them to be able to form their life and their own happiness.
Become their own person.
Yes, I am not here to give them that happiness. You understand?
They need to find their own happiness.
So this, for sure.
For me, I want them to, I'm trying to raise them into boys where they can be themselves completely.
Yes.
Like, go after your dreams, go after your passions, be who you want to be in life, not what society tells you to be.
Exactly.
And also to become men that your daughters can be safe with.
Of course.
That's a big one for me.
But do you feel like you're super attached to them?
I am. Like, there's not a moment during the day where I'm not thinking of them or sending them something, or but I have accepted that they are their own person, and they do have their own lives, especially now they're teens and soon off to college. And I've trained myself to be okay with that.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna leave the nest very soon.
But no, you still have a long way.
Yeah, but I love my time with them. It's precious moments, but still, like you said, they have to become their own person. They don't live for me. They have to live for themselves. So
true.
And that is what I want to give them.
It's not about what we want.
No, don't you dare leave me.
This one's a psycho.
Don't you dare. You're staying with mommy forever. No. But yeah. But I think also because they're boys. I don't know. Girls are different.
So funny that we both have boys, and we both grew up with strict moms, and
and also both very sports oriented.
I love that.
Yeah, and they have that discipline, which is also a key for me.
And it does come from both, you know,
But, yeah,
your husband
yes,
and their father.
absolutely,
They're very sportive guys, and
discipline
has a good impact on boys.
I feel like kids these days, they can be a bit all over the place, a bit delulu. I mean, discipline is good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Thank you for watching, and we hope that, you know, you found some of these topics relatable to anything you might be going through. And again, there's no manual to being a mother. There's no right or wrong. It's just mothers trying to be the best version of themselves for their kids.
Absolutely.
Most important to be happy mothers and strong mothers. We love you.
Why do I feel like it's Happy Mother's Day?
Happy
No. Mother's Day. Okay, thank you.